Hi everyone, it's Diane. Welcome back to my channel, Scrap Addict Creations. Today we are doing day 2 of our Christmas card week. Number 2 is a really special card. I think you will enjoy it. I am so happy to share this creation with you. So let's get scrapping. Now for day 2, we have this beautiful, isn't this gorgeous? Oops, taking stuff with us. Joy card. Okay, isn't that pretty? Love the shimmer on it. Okay, so for this one, we have one of the Close to My Heart card bases. And then we have black cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We have this pattern paper from Christmas Story that is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. Then we have, I can't remember exactly, let's look at this. This is 2 1/2 by 4 in black. And then this would be 2 3/8 by 3 7/8 in, I want to say this is, you know what? This is not mink. It is linen. Sorry. I forgot that I had changed that because I was going to use the French vanilla, but it was a little too bright. Just a little smidge too bright. So this one goes together pretty quickly. Let me adhere these together real quick so that we don't have a lot of stuff floating around on here. It's always a little harder to work with black on a black mat, but you know, we persevere. And I'm going to put this one together as well. Get these all together and then we can set this aside. Because we've got a few other little bits we've got to work on. I love this side too, but the greener side with the pine and the little swirls and stuff, oh, I just love it. It's my favorite. Okay, so that goes like that. And then we're going to put this card base onto here. I usually open it up and then just kind of line it up on the center and then put that down. So this would be a cute card going this way or this way. I happen to choose to go this way because of this piece. I liked it with the jar on it. So let's just put this in the center real quick. There we go. So there is your card base. Pretty simple, standard. Now this part right here, I'm going to go along, let's talk about this. So this is Mink Dark, and this is my Lawn Fawn shimmery vellum. You could just use regular vellum. I just have this that has a little shimmer to it and I like it. I used white embossing powder, okay? And then I have my Lawn Fawn clear embossing ink, and then I use the jar, and where did I set it? Oh, here it is. And I have Gina K white fine detail embossing powder. Again, using what I have on hand. That's, you know, my motto, use what you got, and then buy more because it's pretty. But yeah, I try to use a lot of what I have on hand. So this does have that embossed finish. And then I'm just going to take and put a little bead of glue around the sides and the bottom, leaving the top open. And then I'm just going to put it onto that mink piece. And why I chose to do that is it gives it a little bit more of a feel to the jar. It's just got, you know, it's not just sitting up against something, and it just makes it shimmery. I know it's hard to see, so sorry. Okay, so the next bit would be these little guys. Let me take this glue and set this aside. And I've got this liquid pearls in the Bisque, and I cut these little berry pieces out, and I will have all of the dimensions and everything below with all the papers I used. But I'm just going to take this Bisque right here and put little berries on top of this mink paper. And it gives it that shimmer. I was going to go individually with little gems, but I liked the feel of this a little better. And I'm not using a ton of gems. This is something I can control. So it's giving it kind of that, what would you call it? Like not a Hershey Kiss, but a chocolate chip feel right now. And then it usually goes down. So if it doesn't, we're going to keep an eye on that. And then we are going to kind of tap them down because I don't want it to have that little kiss type top or the chocolate chip type top. I want it to be just rounded. I'm sure that they all go down because they all went down on the other one and I was very happy. But I really like this. Did I get them all on that other one? Oh, I missed one. I missed the centers. That's the part that is harder to remember. But we'll let this dry, and then we've got a little, oops, that one's a big one. We've got a little bit of embossing stuff to do. And I am going to take my, if I can find it, where did I set it? Well, I'll take this piece right here. I've left this out. Okay, we're just going to take those two off right now and redo those because those kind of globbed out a little more than I wanted. There we go, much better. Okay, letting those dry. Let's just set those up there. We've got these two little, I cut two of each of these and only one of this one. So this one is the next one we're going to deal with, and we're just going to trim it. We're just going to cut it right there. And now we have two. I didn't want this one to have two separate full pieces. It's just kind of the space it takes up is a little big. So while we are letting those dry a smidge, let's grab out this. And I have already taken my embossing buddy, but you know what? I'm going to redo it. And this is where I actually use this quite a bit because I don't want any blurry, weird marks on my title or my verbiage, so to speak. Okay, so I'm just going to use that and put this joy down here. I really like the word joy for this card. And oh, this is the Close to My Heart gold paper. I really like that. The embossing powder here is the Gina K Champagne. Now, what I like about champagne color, and I know that a few different companies have it, is it doesn't have that huge, like brassy gold color to it. It just has a nice sheen. And then I'm going to use my little embossing tool, and I'm going to start at the back and just kind of heat it. The nice part is this one is a really quiet one. So I'm just going to kind of heat it. And then I'll go to the front and heat it. And go to the back a little bit. And then go back to the front. And then we're done with that. Okay. And for this one, we are going to just hand trim these little, as some people say, dovetails or banner pieces, or, you know, whatever you want to call this. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so we've got that. And I'm going to put the lid on the embossing powder because I am notorious for dropping it everywhere, making a nice old mess. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, let's check. These are not quite ready. So we are going to put a pause on it and I will be right back. Okay, looks like it's dry enough now. I did put some pop tape on the back of this. I realized I had not brought this out. So this is the Christmas Story card making workshop stamp set and dies. So the dies are these three that do not have a stamp to go with them, but they are amazing. there's a little bow, and then there's the jar. And then we have joy, love, sending you, wishing you, time for mistletoe and holly. I love that one. Merry Christmas, this holiday season, a little border and some berries. Also, this could be a ribbon around here, or I think you could probably use it as a stem too. But like you saw, I'm only using that jar one and the joy, but I'm only using the jar part. So now that this is all dry, we're going to now put our little stems inside our little jar. And I've already used the pearls, the Bisque pearls, and that is liquid pearls Bisque, sorry. And that is all dried, which is fantastic. So let's set that aside so it's not in our space. And we'll work on that one in a second. And let me see here. Yeah. So we're going to just kind of slip these in here. And slip these in here so that we've kind of got them, you know, like this one we can maybe angle. You can do whatever you want when you're building this little bouquet in here. Just kind of slip them in and overlap. Slip this one in the front. Isn't that pretty? Just this little bouquet you're making of beauty, of gorgeousness. Okay, so this is the larger of them. So I have that on this side, and I kind of just stuck this more like that. So it was more in the front, but it's just barely inside there. And we will be attaching everything with some glue to the back of the card base. So let's see here. We just got to kind of play with it. Like I said, every one of these is going to look a little different, and they're going to be utterly gorgeous. I mean, you cannot go wrong with this stamp and die set. Okay, and then this one goes right here in the front. Just kind of anchor it down a little bit more. And look what we've got. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely, utterly beautiful. Okay, I probably should have put this little piece on ahead of time. But I was so busy thinking about where I wanted things. So we're just going to kind of cross this in here, and then we're going to put some adhesive there to hold that in place. So it really can be a before or after, because you're not like tying a big bow or making sure that it has to be perfect. Now we want to have it at a little bit of an angle over here. Oh, and we also, because I have that showing, let's take our scissors out and trim that. Just kind of make sure that you only see this one little piece here. And then we'll just put this at an angle, and we'll grab our glue, and we're just going to kind of take our glue and put a little bit of glue here and there to kind of hold stuff in place. Not a lot. You want it to kind of be free flowing as well. So just kind of add some glue behind things here and there. Glue them to each other, whatever you're comfortable with. You just want it to stay there, and while you're doing stuff, not to kind of run, okay? So just kind of push it down a smidge. Next, we are going to take this joy that we dovetailed or flagged, and I'm going to take this, it's the Spectrum Noir metallic paint marker. I've got the 3mm, and I'm going to go from behind, and I'm just going to put a smidge of gold along the edge. It gives it just a little bit of bling. Like I said, we're trying to keep these beautiful, elegant, simple. The back might look, you know, a hot mess, but the top won't. We're just going to have that little tiny bit of gold, so you've got that hint. Okay? And it, of course, smells. It's got that smell to it. And then I did add double pop top right here and single for the rest of it. And then we're going to take that and put that at an angle there. Almost done. Like I said, you know, the hardest part on some of these cards is pretty much the cutting. There is a lot of cutting, especially on this one, but it's all good. I mean, it's a beautiful card. Let me grab a glue dot. I did try gluing this on. It did not work as well as I like. So we're going to go the glue dot route. Oh, can't use those scissors. Grab these. And we're just going to cut it. Ugh, I know, cutting glue dots. Now my scissors are gummed up. Okay, grab this, and I'm just going to kind of roll this. It's kind of a hot mess, so there we go. And then I tied this bow with this gold ribbon. And if I didn't show you what I was using, where did I set this? There it is. This is actually leftover ribbon I have from Stampin' Up! Days. It is just a gold ribbon. It's kind of got a cream outline on it. It's a nice, simple, small ribbon. I was going to use like a thread, but I wanted a little more depth to the ribbon on the card. So let's take a look at this. Let me set this little glue dot aside. And the bow will lay down nicer as it sits. But this is our second Christmas card. And it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. But I always love a good jar. And I love a good like wreath type thing. And this stuff would make an excellent wreath. But just a little sprigs and stuff in there. Oh, beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed card number 2. Stay tuned tomorrow for card number 3. We will see you tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and play today. Please like and subscribe if you would like to see more of my videos. Leave a comment and have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.